With the release of Resident Evil 4 already, I wanted to make a video of how I became a big fan of the Resident Evil franchise. Let's roll the intro.
I've ridiculed everyone on the roster. And I just want to say from the bottom of my heart, I'd like to take this chance to apologize to absolutely nobody. The double champ does what the he wants.
How I became a true fan of the Resident Evil games growing up. I played games from wrestling games to sports games to classic games all through my youth. But I've never touched any of the Resident Evil games until Resident Evil Biohazard. At that time, I was already in my 20s. Or at least getting into my 20s. Because I don't remember when it actually came out. I believe it was 2017. But I could be wrong. It was the first time I played any game from this franchise. And I was hooked. I enjoyed every minute of it. I was never a big fan of first-person games. But this game made me enjoy it. Made me enjoy first-person a lot. When I was done, I needed more. I needed more Resident Evil. A couple months before Resident Evil Biohazard came out, my brother had actually bought Resident Evil 2 Remake. I never thought about it, or was I ever intrigued for playing it. Jump to a couple weeks after the release of Biohazard, I had a couple coupons for GameStop. Yes, coupons, and yes, from GameStop. Now, when I say the release of Biohazard and Resident Evil 2 Remake, I could have those two dates messed up. Most likely, Resident Evil Biohazard either came out first, then Resident Evil 2 came out, but it was in between that time where one had come out, and I believe he bought it first, and he was playing it, and I saw him playing it, and I just thought, oh, it looks okay. But I never actually sat down and was like, you know what, let me try it. I never did. I remember him playing Resident Evil 2 in Mr. X. I believe that was his name. Mr. X following him, and he was telling me about it and saying it was so cool and everything, but nothing intrigued me. It never made me go, yeah, I gotta go play it. But Biohazard was actually the first game I'd ever played of any of the Resident Evil games. It hooked me. And then after I finished that, that's when I went and got Resident Evil 2 Remake. After getting out of work on a Friday, knowing I got extra cash in the bank because I got coupons, I just got paid, and my cash was in the bank, I was feeling rich, and instead of heading home or to get ready to, I don't know, maybe go get some food, take out the girlfriend on a date, you know, all the etc., Netflix and chill, whatever. What most kids do nowadays instead of staying home and playing games. I decided to head for GameStop. Knowing I had coupons and extra cash, I stumbled inside, and the workers saying hi to me because they know me. They really know me where I live. It's like my second home. Looking for something new, something to tickle my gamer bone, if you want. Hint, hint. At the corner of my eye, boom, like that atomic bomb, it got my attention. Resident Evil Biohazard. I stood there reading the cover. In the back of the cover, I knew something about this game was gonna change my life. So I head to the front desk get to the cashier, and buy it. I usually would look up videos about a game before spending any hard-earned cash. But it all felt perfect. Friday, paycheck, coupons, and the little bits from the story that I got from reading the cover. I was given a moment of enjoyment, because when I saw this game, I was like, you know what? This feels like it's gonna be badass. It felt right. I bought it using all my coupons and headed home. I installed it and loved the opening, the darkness, the scary, the puzzles. I was so into it, I even forgot I had my phone on silent. And the girlfriend called multiple times. We've all been there when the girlfriend calls multiple times. I didn't notice she called so many times to see if I wanted to hang out. 9 out of 10, all guys would say, yeah, let's hang out. But for some reason, I felt different. I would say, yes, get those drawers, my boy. But I didn't. I didn't hesitate. And I said, I'm not feeling so good. I made up a lie to the girlfriend. Why? Because I was having too much fun playing Resident Evil. We can try Saturday, I said. She wanted to come over. Most likely to see if I was really sick. I kept saying the right thing for her not to get that impression that I wasn't sick or that I didn't want to hang out. After a couple minutes on the phone, we finally hang up the phone. And I went back to Resident Evil Biohazard. To my new love, Resident Evil. To keep this video less longer, I lied the whole weekend and I finished the game on Sunday night. And I was crawling for more. I was looking for more Resident Evil. So I looked up all the Resident Evil stuff that I could. And that's when it hit me that all along I already had a Resident Evil 2 remake. So I played it. I played it multiple times because you guys know there are two different versions of the story. After finishing it, a couple months later, whatever, the dates could be different. Maybe I didn't buy Biohazard whenever it first came out, but it was probably already out. Resident Evil 2 was already out. I believe Resident Evil 3 was already out. I went and bought Resident Evil 3, so on. Then Resident Evil Village came out, and now with Resident Evil 4, I became hooked on this franchise. I rewatched the movies, even though they're not that good. I replayed the stories multiple times, and I fell in love with this franchise. I even watched the animated movies, and they're badass. Look, with Resident Evil 4, I can't wait to play this game. This remake, because I enjoyed the remakes. I really do. And even though Biohazard and Village to me are still better stories, better gameplay, that's just in my opinion, I have become a mega fan. Watching the bad films to the shows to animated movies. That is how I became a Resident Evil fan for life. Because of one game and one game only. Resident Evil Biohazard. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like, make sure to subscribe, and I'll catch you guys next time.
This is Sparta!